Good morning, dear students. Hope all are staying safe at home. Let us begin with a new session in English. In today's session, we are going to discuss Unit 4, Section B, the first part of the lesson, The Strategist by Saki. Before going to begin the lesson, let us know more about the writer. Hector Hugh Munro was born on 18th December 1870 and died on 14th November 1916. He was better known by the pen name Saki and also frequently as H.H. Munro, was a British writer whose witty, mischievous, and sometimes macabre stories satirized Edwardian society and culture. He is considered by English teachers and scholars as a master of the short story and often compared to O. Henry and Dorothy Parker. Besides his short stories, he wrote a full-length play, The Watched Pot, in collaboration with Charles Moore, two one-act plays, a historical study, The Rise of the Russian Empire, a short novel, The Unbearable Washington, etc. As the title of the story indicates, the strategist is the one who is adept or skillful for making clever plans or decisions. Here in the story, the strategist which deals with a party organized by Mrs.Jallatt, where young people come in regularly, play games, and have a lavish food. The key characters of the story are Rollo and Wrotsley, who were childhood enemies, and Mrs. Jallatt, the hostess. The story starts with a game initiated by Wrotsley and ends up in the dinner table where they fight for the peach. Here you have the textual images of the lesson The Strategist. I request all of you to read it well. Here you have some new words. The first one, strategist. A person skilled at making clever plans or decisions. Second, speculated means confused. Then comes feud. It means enmity. The fourth one, prospective, of or in the future. Dromedary. It's an animal of the camel family with only one lump. Mustang. A small American wild horse. Quagga is a type of zebra now extinct. Then comes adamant, refusing to be persuaded to change one's mind. And the ninth one, stint, to provide very little of something. And the last word is bluffing. It means cheating. Now let us analyze the summary of the story. A good strategy to rob the party. The three key characters of the story are Rollo the strategist, Wrotsley, and Mrs. Jallatt. Mrs. Jallatt's party was very exclusive because only few men were given the chance to come for the party. Here, Rollo and Wrotsley brothers were having an enmity from the childhood itself. When the story begins, Rollo, as he drove to the function, was thinking about the people who would be coming for the party. He was expecting 10 girls and 4 friends, including him, as well as his devoted and muscular supporter Jack, if Wrotsley would never bring his cousin. As he arrived, he heard Jack's sister was apologizing to Mrs. Jallatt for the unavoidable absence of her brother, and Rollo also noticed that Rosalie's brought their cousin. Here, as you know, Rollo, the protagonist of the story, he was having enmity with the Wrotsley brothers from childhood itself. He was not happy with the presence of their cousin too. He was having a strong supporter, Jack, but unfortunately he was not able to come on the day. The moment of disappointment. When Rollo came to know that his strong supporter Jack was not there in the party, he became totally disappointed and ordered his carriage to come as early as possible. He had already planned something to make the party as well as the people, especially girls who reached there to entertain and to outshine the Wrotsley brothers. He planned everything well in advance and thought that with the help of Jack he would be able to fulfill his plans. But unfortunately, he had to face the company of three alone with a smile. At that moment, Mrs. Jallatt asked the young girls to play any party games if they like. Then Elder Wrotsley came up with the idea of a game that the boys would leave the room and come up with a word and that the girls should find out. Rollo had known the game well in advance and he had a plan to play it if his faction was the majority. The young girls were not much interested with that game. Let us start the game. The word choosers locked themselves in the library to ensure that their discussions were not interrupted or overheard, and then they went back to the waiting girls. When the Wrotsley's cousin announced the word camel, all the girls screamed there and told them to go and find out yet another word since the word should be told by girls. Then the boys ridiculed them by telling that they were bluffing. The word was not camel, it was dromedary. Again the boys went back to the library and came up with another one, quagga. When the girls chorused on their return to come and sit down over there, Rollo was adamant that the questioned person should always stand. The game ended with the announcement of supper. Mrs. Jallatt would neither keep less food nor extra for her young guests on her supper table. It was usually a good policy to take what you wanted while it was still there. The story never ends here. It will continue in the next session. Here you have an exercise taken from your course book. Kindly do the exercise in your textbook. Please check your answers of the exercise given in the previous slide. With this, we have come to the end of today's session and we will continue the second part of the story in the next session. I hope you all would have prepared well for your exam. Wish you all the best. Thank you.